Hey guys, what's going on? So I got out here for a trip. Raymond and I got out for 3 days, 2 nights, sort of 3 days, out here in Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. Video will be coming out for that real soon. But it's just a beautiful place. I'm gonna turn you around, kind of show you some of the rocky features around us. Really a cool area. I am kind of sheltered right now behind this rock, kind of hanging down. Funny, yesterday was 78 degrees. Today was supposed to be mid 50s. It's in the 30s and windy. We had extreme winds overnight, 40 to 50 mile an hour winds pretty much all night. We're gonna have the same tonight, but when we wake up tomorrow morning, wind chills will be well below 0, and we are expecting a little bit of snow. So it was good to get out here, but it's not quite as warm as we were expecting. We'll see how heavy the snow is as we're walking out, and hope it is just snow and not any freezing rain or sleet or anything like that. That could be interesting. 40, 50 mile an hour winds, below 0 wind chills, and sleet stinging your face. Doesn't sound like a good time, especially it will be based on the direction we'll be heading out. It'll pretty much be blowing in our face half of the time until we get over the hill and into the woods, which is a ways. So this weekend we spent pretty much off trail almost the whole time, just out exploring, and it was a lot of fun. I did want to give you guys 3 tips on this one. So the 3 tips that I wanted to throw out there all have to do really with your backpack and with packing. The first one is throw away your, maybe not throw away, but don't use your stuff sacks for clothing, pillow, or your quilts. Shove them down in the bottom of your pack. By doing that, what it's going to do is actually take up less room because it fills all the voids. If you have them in stuff sacks and you put them in there, there's going to be voids between the stuff sacks. It makes them a little bit harder, and so it's a lot harder to fit them in there. And so you're kind of playing Jenga with the stuff sacks. But if you just shove them all the way down in the bottom, you can keep packing stuff down on top of there, and it fills in all the voids. There are no dead spot areas, and it ends up taking up less room. And I find that packing up is a whole lot easier because you're taking less time in the morning to roll up a sleeping bag or stuff a sleeping bag, then stuff it in there, try and fit it in. Second tip is, because you're doing that, you really want to keep your quilts and stuff dry. And so what I like to use is a trash compactor bag or a xylophoam bag down in the bottom of so you line your pack with it. So it's kind of like a pack liner. Stuff your dry stuff in there, so your quilts, your hammock if you're using a hammock, your tent body could be in there if you're using a tent, sleeping pad, whatever you need that you want to stay dry, your extra clothes, your warm clothes, camp clothes in there. Then roll the top of that down, and then put anything that would be wet or could get wet on top of there. Now, the stuff that I definitely know is going to be wet, I try to keep on the outside, but like my food bag, electronics, stuff like that, I will actually keep, because they're in semi-dry bag type things, outside of that. And what that allows you to do is when you open up your pack to get some food or something like that out of there, you aren't getting your quilts or your dry stuff wet. It's protected because it's in a secondary storage system that's actually just the trash compactor bag or something like that. A contractor bag will work as well. It's just a little bit thicker trash bag. You don't want to use just a regular trash bag because they tear way too easy. And then the last piece of advice is something that I've learned more recently, and that is to not carry weight on your shoulder straps. So I used to have water bottles and a bunch of stuff hanging, a chest pouch, all hanging from my chest, from my shoulder straps. But what I find is that weight really pulls down hard on your shoulders, and especially if you have a full suspension backpack where the weight is transferred to your hips, you want that weight on your hips and not on your shoulders. I would find that after 8 miles into a day, my shoulders would be hurting me. They'd really be fatigued. But if you can get that off of there and go with a fanny pack system or hip belt pockets, or have them in the pockets of your pack, you end up a little bit more refreshed and not as worn out at the end of the day. Okay, so those are the tips, and job hunt is still going. Did have some positive leads today, so we'll see where those go. and I'm still waiting on quite a few that I've got out there. But I'll keep you guys informed, let you know what's going on. Appreciate you guys checking this out. See you next time.